On today's show, let's talk about All-Star Weekend. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving are going to All-Star. Who do you want them to be drafted by? Then we'll talk about Mavs versus Nuggets. Christian Wood not playing as much as we thought with a shortened rotation for the Mavericks. Why? We'll talk about that and more on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
Mavericks, NBA champions. Bang! It's good, and the Mavericks have won the game.
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
Loyalty never fades away.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being part of the show and making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. We are free and available on all podcast platforms, including YouTube. But the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen and watch every day and to comment anything below. Let us know, who do you want Luka and Kyrie to be drafted by for the All-Star game? Team Giannis, Team LeBron. Do you want them on the same team? Do you not want them on the same team? Let us know why in the comment section below. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. And joining me, as always, my co-host, writer, contributor at Mavs.com, the all-star stud, the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
You know, I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm trying to figure out if All-Star Weekend is something that I enjoyed so much because I was young,
Yeah,
or it was just better. Which one is it in the past? Because the dunk contest, everybody wants to get ready.
2016 was good.
Exactly. Hold on, I got to land this real quick.
All right, here we go.
Everybody, get the ready. Everybody wants to dunk on the dunk contest. All right, there you go.
No, that's bad.
It's so bad. And I mean, you had to get a G League player. I mean, I guess he's not G League anymore.
Hey, he's on a two-way now. Mac McClung is on a two-way.
Okay. But either way, as much hate as it gets, as much as it gets dunked on, it's still the All-Star Weekend. And it's still something I plan my schedule around because my wife knows it's All-Star Weekend coming up. And I'm like, hey, we're not doing anything Friday, Saturday. We don't do Valentine's Day stuff on Valentine's Day. We always push it to the weekend of. I was like, I mean, we're going to have to do lunch on Saturday because, you know, I got to watch Trey Murphy in the dunk contest Saturday night. So
Trey Murphy, Mac McClung.
So we're getting brunch instead so I can watch All-Star Weekend. Today,
we're going to talk about All-Star Weekend because this is Isaac's last episode before the All-Star Weekend, and then we'll have a
all right, before All-Star Weekend.
Let me land my sentence. Last episode.
Been good ride, guys. Love you all.
He's gone.
Touche.
This is... Do you like... I love this. This is a new drop.
Touche.
You can hear my laugh at the very end of it.
Touche.
We'll talk. This has gone off the rails already. We are as focused at the beginning of this show as the Mavericks were against the Nuggets tonight. So we're going to talk about.
This is how you do a show after a loss.
We're going to talk about All-Star Weekend, what we expect from Luka and Kyrie, and then we'll talk about Mavs versus Nuggets, what we saw, and we'll talk a little bit about Christian Wood because he didn't play as much as some people thought he would in a game where the Mavs were really shorthanded. No Kyrie, no Tim Hardaway, no Maxey, no Davis. Like, he didn't play as much as people thought. And I kind of think it's time to talk about it. So let's talk about All-Star Weekend, even though we've been talking about it for weeks.
I was going to say it's time.
Even though we've been talking about it for weeks. I don't know how to set it up other than that. Which Maverick needs this All-Star break the most? I think we need to start there because according to this Mavs-Nuggets game, nobody wanted to play this game, which is why we're not leading with it today. Who needs this break the most?
Well, the answer is Luka Doncic. And I mean, there you go. It's who needs it most besides Luka, which, I mean, he's not even going to get that big of a break because him and Kyrie are going, you know, to the weekend. But
he's got one day. He's got one day. He'll play like 10 minutes probably, right?
He'll fly somewhere afterwards. You know, there's always a few days, you know, after the All-Star game there before they start back up. But yeah, he needs it, man. Like, I mean, he looked gassed out there. I mean, he looked like he was huffing and puffing. Then he, you know, tweaked the injury a little bit. And it's just, I mean, there was at one point I was just watching him. And I know he had 37 the bar is high for Luka. Okay, and like
He had 37.
But there was one time I'm like, man, I kind of wish they would just like set him down so that he can just like rest and chill. And once they were like up by 20 in like the fourth quarter, still, it's like, all right, let's maybe he can already just go get on a yacht somewhere for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the big takeaway from this game. Luka needs the break. You know who else I think needs the break is Josh Green. I think Josh Green's really struggled the last couple of games. He had a couple of threes in this game tonight, but he just hasn't looked there defensively. I don't think he's been playing a lot of minutes. He all of a sudden went from like this he went from not playing at all for 2 years, basically, and then playing like 15, sometimes 20 minutes a game at the beginning of the season. And then he was playing like 40 minutes. Like, it takes a while to build up the endurance to play what Dorian and Reggie were doing for a while there. And so I think Josh Green needs this break a lot because I think he could use the rest. And I think his play has seen it, and we kind of saw it in this game, and we've seen it in other games the last couple as well.
I think we could get a little bit of taste of when they're replacing JB with Spencer, and it was like, oh, the natural, let's replace, he naturally moves into this role.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit of time. I think for some people, including myself, we're underestimating just how difficult it could be to be a wing defender for 40 to 45 minutes in a game. That Dorian and Reggie did it throughout the playoffs, but like just naturally saying, oh, Josh has got it for 43 minutes, every game in the playoffs. That's a lot. And Dorian and Reggie did it well. And not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's not something to just gloss over as, oh, he just filled that in easily.
I think Kyrie Irving probably needs this All-Star break a lot too, because you could just tell that he was tired. Even in our press conference that we went to the other day, just seeing him answer questions, and
he said he was tired.
He said he was tired. It's tough to go through moving your family, and he's got young kids and like all that stuff in the middle of the season. This is the first time he's ever been traded mid-season, so he's never experienced this before. And to go to a new team, to have all the questions be asked, and he even came out and was like, it would be great if you guys would respect me and not ask about free agency. So like, he's thinking about that, right? Like, that's weighing on him, and he's trying to figure out what he's going to do for next season and for the rest of his NBA career, maybe. So all that stuff is weighing on him. He could really use a break too. But who do you want Kyrie and Luka to be drafted by? Team LeBron, Team Giannis?
Well, of course it's Giannis, because LeBron's going to take him with like his first pick, and everybody's just going to freak out and die. And the Kyrie storylines are going to be incredible All-Star Weekend.
Yes,
like I almost want to do a bingo card, Kyrie All-Star Weekend storylines.
Wow,
and we could get like really fun with it, like Brian Windhorst's quote about rumblings he's heard about Kyrie.
Which mythical creature will Kyrie be described by? A vampire?
What pictures, what duo pictures will be posted with eyes emoji when he talks to LeBron, or a KD?
A back hallway video of Kyrie talking to another player. Remember the KD one where he was like pointing up at KD and he was like, you, me, and that's when they decided to go to Brooklyn. There's going to be another one of my questions. What's the stupid Kyrie story that happens because of this? Right?
This is one of my favorite questions you've ever asked.
Not something that he says necessarily, but something that is said about him or around his camp that is either completely made up by media or is like taken out of context, or like something about Kyrie. I'm curious to see. There's going to be something over All-Star Weekend.
I got one for you.
Ooh.
Kyrie's going to be talking to the media.
Okay.
And he's going to talk about how underrated it is to get sunburned from the sun off of the snow in Utah. And somebody's going to write the story and be like, you know what? He talked about the sun. He's going to Phoenix.
Touche.
Because there's so many things that could come out on All-Star Weekend. Just people trying so hard. They're already trying so hard to do it now. It's going to be, if him and Luka are not conjoined at the hip, all weekend, or, he passes it to LeBron on the left wing as, Luka was cutting. Well, no, that wouldn't happen. If Luka was standing in the corner, people are going to read into it. It's going to be
All right, coming up, I got another one. What's
I'm excited.
a stupid
I like
Kyrie story that's going to come out of All-Star Weekend that he doesn't necessarily cause, but is talked about and blown completely out of proportion. We'll talk about that coming up. But before we do, let me tell you about FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is Locked On's new sportsbook partner. You can go check out FanDuel for tons of stuff. I don't know if they have All-Star Weekend stuff. I haven't seen much All-Star Weekend on there, but you can go check it out. FanDuel.com/LockedOn. They do have Rookie of the Year. We haven't looked at this in a while. Paolo Banchero. How much of a lead do you think he has on Benedict Mathurin?
Oh, good lead.
Minus 1,000 for Paolo Banchero, plus 950 for Benedict Mathurin. Like, just not even close. It's not even close at all.
It's not.
That one's
guy.
not even looking at. I didn't even.
He is him.
That one's not even looking at this point. You can check out all kinds of different things. They still have to make the playoffs. They have Minnesota to make the playoffs right now. Yes is plus 135. No is minus 170. So they are not slotted to make the playoffs after the Rudy Gobert trade, which is wild. They're currently 7th right now. They're tied with the Mavericks for 7 and 8 right there. So go check out FanDuel. See what they have available. FanDuel.com/LockedOn. All right, Isaac Harris, we're talking about All-Star Weekend, making our predictions, asking some big questions. Which Maverick needs this break the most? There's a couple of them. What team do we want Luka and Kyrie to be drafted to? Team LeBron, Team Giannis. What's the stupid Kyrie story that's going to come out of this weekend? We love to predict storylines and narratives. One of them, I think, is going to be Kyrie is going to make some kind of comment about, I've played with great players in the past before. I've never played with a player like Luka before. He's going to make that kind of comment in some way. And all of a sudden it will be Kyrie says that Luka is better than LeBron. And it's just going to blow up all over the place. Like, it's just going to be this big thing. And it's not even what he meant. It's just he'll probably mean like the style of play, or like how, Luka just does things differently and all that, but it's going to be taken into like, oh, Kyrie says Luka's better than LeBron.
I got another one in that realm of a prediction. A media member is going to ask Kyrie and try to make they're obviously trying to write the Luka is LeBron story. And they're going to ask Kyrie, like, man, is he really similar to LeBron? Like, is his passes like him? And Kyrie's going to be like fighting it off, saying, now Luka is Luka. He's not LeBron. Yeah. And I'm ready for that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Luka is Luka kind of thing. Yeah.
This is one of my favorite games. We could do this for
let's keep doing it. You got any more? Who are
the biggest thing, the easy low hanging fruit is LeBron picking Kyrie with his first pick in the fantasy draft.
Yeah. That's the easy
and
one.
Everybody's going to freak out about it. Him picking Kyrie over all the other starters will be, yeah. Everybody will have fun. And in LeBron, it'll be like a little shot at Pelinka and, all this little stuff. And
there's got to be a Kyrie Harden something, right? Like a Kyrie Harden, they run into each other. Because remember,
it's Harden. He's not even going to be there, is he?
Oh, is he not named a reserve yet? He's not even an all-star.
So.
Oh, I thought he got named a reserve. There's been so many reserves the last couple of days.
Because KD won't be there either, right?
Yeah, no, KD's out. He's one of the reserves that's going to be out.
Are we sure Kyrie goes?
Yeah, do we? Let's talk about that. Do we think they're going to go? Luka with the heel. Yeah, Kyrie just missed this last game, and then do we want them to go?
Well, I think there's a portion of fans that would say, no, I don't want them ever to go. Just go get the break and go sit on a yacht. So, I mean, if they're healthy, go to the All-Star game. It's fun. Yeah.
Do we want Luka sitting on a yacht? Do we want Luka doing that for a week? I've seen a lot of tweets about Luka finishing his back tattoo, and that people are concerned that he was too busy doing that too.
That's been an incredible storyline for fans. That's it. At the end of the year, if we're doing a top 10, Mavs Twitter storylines, it's in the top 10. Because last year, Mavs Twitter wanted to pay Moses Brown big time money to be a starting center was big.
Who's if anybody out there, if you're listening right now, you have inside info about Luka's back tattoo that he's finishing, let us know. And we'd be interested in it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Who is
I heard that the Pinnock guy drew it.
The mural guy?
I'm just kidding.
Can I get on a soapbox for a second? The mural guy. Okay, we talked about the mural guy a while ago. The please send help with Luka and the sign. The mural guy gets all upset about the way Cuban responded to his mural. That Cuban said it was disrespectful to the other players and like didn't like it. And then they, kind of asked him to take it down, sort of, not really. Guy gets all upset about it, goes on the radio, and then like on the ticket, talks to our friend Jake Kemp. And then he makes another mural, and it's Mark Cuban on a chessboard. That's his next mural that he's making, is Mark Cuban with a chessboard, like he's been orchestrating all this. He's like, I just want Mark Cuban to get some help. And then all of a sudden, he's trashing Mark Cuban, and then all of a sudden his next mural is Mark Cuban. Like, wasn't this guy's whole thing that he was frustrated with Cuban? Not only the way he was handling the team, but if you're gonna be mad at Cuban and think he's done a bad job, then be mad and like don't make your next mural like the complete opposite of what you just said.
It worked, Nick. They got Kyrie.
I guess
that's why they went and traded for Kyrie.
I guess I just don't.
Mural.
I don't get going both ways on it. I guess. All right.
Nico wasn't doing anything until the mural was put up.
Who do we think is going to win the 3-point contest?
Sarcasm, guys.
The participants are Tyrese Halliburton, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Kevin Huerter, Lillard, Markkanen, Tatum. Anthony Simons is going to be out, so I don't know if we know who's going to replace him.
Christian Wood, maybe.
Too soon.
I'll go with. He might be on the floor longer for a 3-point contest round than. I'll go with Jason Tatum.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Markkanen because of that comment. Interesting. Tatum. We've seen a big guy win it. I'll go off. I'll go Halliburton. I'll just go off the board with Halliburton.
We've seen a big guy win it. I thought
about going Markkanen because of the hometown, but it never works out that way.
I hope he does. That'd be fun.
That would be fun for them.
I'd love to see him or Lillard. Is it bad that I'm kind of like being anti-Tyler Hero nowadays? There's just something about him that rubs me the wrong way.
Were you ever pro Tyler Hero?
Not at all.
I was going to say, I didn't think that was a thing that you were.
No, but I just look at this, pool of participants and I'm like, I don't think I'm rooting for you. So
the dunk contest.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Dunk contest. We got KJ Martin from the Rockets. We've got Mac McClung, we've talked about, is now a two-way on the 76ers. He's been in the G League pretty much all year.
Instagram highlight machine back in high school.
Trey Murphy of the Pelicans and Jericho Sims of the Knicks. Jericho Sims can get up.
This is a low point for the dunk contest. A real low point. This is probably the worst contestants I've ever had.
No, the low point was the wheel with John Wall and the weird like teams.
At least there were names in there that we've heard of. And I mean, yeah, you're never going to get the LeBrons and everybody like Jaws, and they're not going to. You're never going to get that again.
We're never going back to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant used to do the slam dunk contest. That's crazy.
Yeah, Dr. J, Dominique, like this was a fun thing, but now it's like, all right, cool.
At this point, accept pedestrians, like just accept average citizens. Like
they should put a limit on it. Well, one, they should switch it. 3-point contest should end the night. The dunk contest shouldn't end it anymore.
The league has changed so much.
Here you go. They should put a total. I don't know if that would even solve it. Total minutes. Like you have to have played this amount of minutes to be eligible to be
threshold. Put a minute threshold.
Sorry, Mac. You've been.
Watch Mac McClung go win it. Who do you think's gonna win it though? I'm give me KJ Martin. That guy can throw down.
I'll take Jericho Sims.
That's a good one.
Here's the thing.
Big guys,
like some of these guys
have a hard time with it though.
I get it. Some of these guys they're probably gonna pull off some cool dunks, and it's like, oh yeah, eat your words. Well, they're still not like household names. Like the chance of any of these four dudes, like Trey Murphy, will be in the league, but like in 5 years, if you told me the other three guys were not in the league, I'm not gonna be shocked, right? Like
Shaedon Sharp, well, it was in this, and then
yeah, that would have been fun.
He was replaced by Jericho Sims.
Dude, he had a nasty dunk the other night too.
He can dunk.
I still want him to do the one thing, like do a one-on-one, one guy under the basket, one guy going in for the dunk, and it's just
the Oklahoma drill for basketball.
Yeah, just meet me at the rim. I would be all in for that. But I mean, the players would never sign up for
That
it.
is an injury waiting to happen. The Oklahoma drill in football is you have one guy with the ball, and you have it's American football. You have one guy with the ball, and then one guguy that's tackling you, and you have like a lane that's made up by the teammates, and then you have to try and get past them, or the other guy has to tackle you. Which is what this drill would become.
One more thing before we talk about this game, the celebrity game. If you want something to age you and make you feel old, is look at the celebrity game rosters and how many players. Which, shout out, NBA Communications had a press release. Award-winning filmmaker Ben Affleck,
Let's go.
Will be announcing the All-Star Celebrity Game participants live. So shout out for everybody that's excited about that.
Even though we know all of them. The ones that we know, though, Dallas Wings' own Arike Ogunbowale is on one team, and Dallas Wings' own Diamond DeShields got traded to the Wings this year. She's on the other team. So if Arike really tried, by the way, she like led the WNBA in scoring a couple years ago. If she really tried, she could put up 60 points in this game.
I don't know. Guillermo
from Jimmy Fallon. Albert Pujols, Calvin Johnson, who he's probably still in decent shape. Couple of musical artists.
The Jazz owner.
The Jazz owner. I think he's like a captain.
He's the coach. Whatever.
Him and Wade are like the captains. The Miz is one from WWE.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop there because if I sit there and go through these people and say I don't know them, people are gonna roast me in the comments.
Okay, Hassan Minhaj is on Arike's team along with Simu Leo, along with DK Metcalf. This is a great team. Janelle Monáe is on.
I love her. She's awesome.
Arike. She was in Knives Out.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay. All right, coming up, let's talk about this Mavs loss against the Nuggets. What do we think about Christian Wood? What do we think about some of the young players getting some minutes? We saw AJ Lawson play some time. Let's talk about that coming up. All right, Isaac Harris, let's talk about this Dallas Mavericks 118-109 loss to the Denver Nuggets. And we waited until this late in the show because the Mavs didn't want to play this game. I don't think the Nuggets wanted to play this game. Did Jokic attempt to shot? How many shots did Jokic take in the first quarter? Like one? He had
14 points total, and they were winning about 20 most of the game.
He was getting doubled a lot. Sure, he did get doubled a lot, but he took 2 shots in the first quarter. He just did not look like he wanted to play in this game at all. Luka was the only one that was out there. I wrote down at some point during this game, Luka wants to score. No one else wants to be there. That's basically what this game was. But Christian Wood, I think the one kind of storyline-ish that came out of this was this team is down Kyrie Irving, Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber. That's about 90 rotation minutes. That's a lot. You're down a lot of rotation minutes for a team that's already kind of depth deprived now. That was depth deprived coming into the season and then sent 2 players out for 1 in the Kyrie Irving trade and 2 players that played a ton of minutes in Dorian and Dinwiddie. And so now you're down a bunch of players. You're playing against a team where you need some scoring. Number 1 offense in the NBA is the Nuggets. And so you need some scoring. You're not going to defend. Jason Kidd said the other night, "Hey, we're not going to defend. We're not going to go 80-80 against teams. Like this is the new NBA." Now,
I don't always tell you guys the truth.
But I do think there's truth in that statement that he said. And for Christian Wood to not only not start, they started Frank Ntilikina again. And yes,
people forget about Frank.
I know that people forget about Frank, but for Christian Wood not to start in this game and then also play less minutes than Frank, play less minutes than Hardy, at certain points play less minutes than Theo Pinson, to like be this far down in the rotation, to come in the game after JaVale McGee, to all this stuff. At this point, like we've talked about it a lot on this show, but at this point, it's like Jason Kidd just doesn't trust him. I think it's done. Like there's not going to be a turning point. There's not going to be a moment where Jason Kidd decides, you know what? I'm in on the Christian Wood thing, and he's going to be a big part of the rotation.
Well, Nick, he was sick.
He was a game, but to be fair, he was a game time decision before the game with a non-COVID illness. So we don't know what was happening with him, but he almost played the entire second half. So it's not like he wasn't, able to play. What did he play? He played 12. He played a lot of the fourth quarter. He played all 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. Didn't play at all in the third quarter. It's just like at this point for a team that needed scoring in this game tonight, that has to outscore teams and needed scoring, for him to not play, there's something else, right? There's something else that's going on between Jason Kidd, Christian Wood, the Mavs, all this other kind of stuff. We've heard some rumblings here and there. We knew that it was kind of, he's going to be a free agent this offseason. There's all kinds of weird stuff with it. And at this point, I'm done. We're done. I think I'm done talking about it now after this game. This game kind of proved to me, unless coming out of the All-Star break, something changes and Jason Kidd decides, you know what? I'm going to trust Christian Wood all of a sudden. He's just not, guys. He's just not.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to it. Shockingly, I mean, there's a reason why I was really confident that, that trade was going to happen before the trade deadline. Didn't happen, obviously. And he's still on the team. He produces, when he plays, as far as gets points. That's what he does, is he gets buckets. But yeah, I'm with Nick. I mean, I texted Nick, during the game. It's I'm kind of done talking about Christian Wood's role because, the trade deadline's passed. He's on the team. And this is just going to be his role, right? He's just going to be a guy coming off the bench.
Yeah.
There's going to be some games he puts up points. It's going to be kind of like Tim. And it's just hey, he's just, I'm done talking about it every single game he doesn't play or doesn't start and we're making a big deal. It's just, I'm going to treat him like a guy coming off the bench. He gets buckets. All right, hey, cool. Christian Wood had a good game tonight. And just move on at this point. This is the role he has.
Or how about this? I'm done talking about it like it's going to change. Jason Kidd likes him as a guy that doesn't play against starters on the other team. He wasn't going to put him out there against Jokic. Now, he ended up doing it late in the game because he just kind of threw out players, and then they went on a little run there, and then you can look at that and say, well, why didn't he play him during the first part of the game? But he didn't want to play him against Gobert the other night. He didn't want to play him against Jokic in this game for defensive reasons, rebounding reasons, all kinds of whatever. The Mavs don't have other options that are better anyway, to be honest. But he likes to play him there. Christian Wood does feast off of these second units. We've seen him try against some good teams this season and not succeed against teams like that. Even though I think that they should embrace this a little bit more, if he's on the team, if he can score, you've got to at least try with him. It doesn't appear that Jason Kidd wants to, and so that's it. I think unless something changes after the All-Star and a crazy injury, I don't even know what a crazy injury would be. Maxi's out and he's still not getting rotation minutes. When Maxi comes back, I mean, it's just, we may be talking about it's over for Christian Wood as part of the main rotation. It's weird.
Just wait until LaMarcus Aldridge. No, just kidding. Got a note. Justin Holiday was officially signed today. We talked about him on yesterday's pod. He didn't play in this game. He literally just joined the team. So we'll see him coming out of the All-Star break, and I think he'll be a.
You gotta love it for Justin Holiday. The guy just flies to Denver just for no reason.
Yeah, just suiting up, chilling over there. Got a free
flight to Denver just to hang out. Now he's there for All-Star weekend. Does he stay? Does he stay there? Where does he live? Does he live in Atlanta?
I thought Hardy had a few decent moments tonight. I know he only had 8 points. Sorry, but I think AJ Lawson had a good little stretch there. He had 10 points in this game. Wishing the best for him in the injury though. That didn't look good. I was worried about him.
He came up hobbling in the third quarter, and it didn't look, or fourth quarter. It was fourth quarter, and it didn't look good for him. That kind of an injury. He got a steal off of a Jokic pass, was driving the length of the court. Michael Porter Jr. caught up to him, blocked the shot, and then AJ Lawson kind of slammed his foot into the ground, and then his knee kind of went with him. It didn't look good, but yeah, we saw some good stuff for him. Hoping the best for him health wise, but hit a couple of threes. He's active. Kid needed a couple players tonight that were I got something to play for, right? I got to go out there and play with my heart out, because it didn't seem like anybody else was, except for Dwight Powell. Dwight Powell was really trying in this game. Right? I mean,
he always tries.
He got 10 boards, but he was trying on everything, every little steal, every dig, every rebound. Now, Dwight Powell's trying can only go so far in games against Jokic, but he was. That was for sure. And then Luka was Luka. Needed a break for sure.
Yeah, much needed break for everybody. Outside of Luka and Kyrie, everybody else can go on vacation and enjoy their time. They'll be back middle of next week. But next Mavs basketball we'll see will be Kyrie and Luka on Sunday.
We will be here all throughout the break, though. We will have a post All-Star. We'll have an episode every single week during the break. We'll have 5 days a week with Locked On Mavs. So we will continue to talk about Dallas Mavericks basketball. And guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.
Boom.